Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. And joining us in studio right now, election season does continue with our candidates who are seeking the Republican nomination and another candidate in the race for the 99th District Court in the Republican primary, Phillip Hays, joining us in studio. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Chad. I'm pleased to be back and visit with you and your listeners.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Tell folks a little bit about yourself and why you decided, 99th District Court sounds pretty good to run for.
Well, many of you will recall that 2 years ago I ran as the incumbent judge for County Court of Law No. 3 and against David Nelson. And that didn't work out in my favor at that time, but I went back into private practice, and when I had heard that Judge Souter was going to be retiring, I felt like that was a door that was opening for me to step back into public service and go back to the courthouse, and so I pursued it. And
so, I guess you can take – and what type of experience does that bring? How does that transfer over, the County Court at Law 3 to the 99th District Court?
Well, it's a great question. The County Court at Law No. 3 is a civil trial court, just like the 99th District Court. It hears civil trial cases that are under a certain jurisdictional minimum, and then in district court, the jurisdictional dollar amount is unlimited. It's very similar type cases, just different size cases. Also, family law and issues with deceptive trade. Contract issues, neighbor versus neighbor, brother against brother and sisters, and things like that. But all the family law, child support, child custody, enforcement actions, adoptions, all of those kinds of cases come in both of those courts. But and that's where my experience lies, in not only as practicing but also as a sitting judge.
I'm sure you've been speaking to a lot of groups, talking to a lot of voters out there. What's one of the major questions that you get when you're running? The judicial races, those are harder for people sometimes to process and to decide who to vote for, especially in a primary, who they're going to look at. What's some of the top question that you get normally?
Well, Chad, most of the people that I've visited with, and I've walked all over most of Lubbock County and talked to a lot of groups and everything else, and many people just don't have a full understanding of what a judge does. And so I've been trying to educate them, to make them aware of what qualities they need to be looking for in a judge and what qualifications those particular candidates need to have in order to be successful and to represent Lubbock County the way it should be. And so but the question you asked was, what have I been hearing? A lot of them are saying, now, are you running against so-and-so, or are you running against so-and-so? Because there are so many candidates running for two judge positions that it's important that they understand the difference between the 140th, which is a criminal court primarily, and the 99th that I'm running for as a civil trial court.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to educate them and get the word out, and I've talked on other shows, and including to Robert Pratt, about that people just need to educate themselves. They need to look at the candidates, and they need to look at the qualifications of each, and I think they'll find their answer when they do that.
Do you like how we elect judges, or do you like that process?
Absolutely. I think it's important that people understand. And I'm not sure that party politics should come into it, but I still think that the people need to have a say on who's going to be their judge. And so, yes, I'm all in favor of that. And appointing judges, of course, I was appointed to fill an unexpired term, but I had to turn around and run immediately. Mm-hmm. I was on the bench for I think 20 days when the filing deadline occurred for running again. So I was on the bench and right into a race immediately the last time. This time I've had a little more of a run-up and a little more preparation and organization.
What do you think you can take away from the going back into private practice and taking all of that experience back into being a judge?
Well, great question again. When I went back into private practice on January 1st of 2019, I went right back into the same types of practice that I'd done for the previous 28 years. And many of my old clients came back. Many new clients have come forward, and my practice is doing well, and I'm pleased with it. But I still have this itch to get back to the courthouse to serve the people. Taking that to the bench over the past year and 2 months now, I've had the opportunity to, I believe, earn the respect of the judges that are sitting in the Lubbock County Court now, and I have been appointed by 7 of the 9 sitting judges to represent indigent clients and other people that needed representation. And I believe that speaks to my skills in the courtroom and the respect that the judges have for me and what I bring to the courtroom every day.
Visiting with Phillip Hays here on the Chad Hasty Show, Republican candidate for the 99th District Court. Tell folks how they can find out more information about you and if you've got a website, social media, all that kind of good stuff.
Sure. Phillip Hays. It's haysforjudge.com is the website. Phillip Hays for the 99th District Court is our Facebook page. Go on there, like it, share it, do whatever you're supposed to do with Facebook. And I'm a kind of a neophyte on those issues, but I'm told that's how we do it.
That's right.
And
yeah.
so, and then if anyone needs to get in touch with me, the phone number is on our webpage. It's on our Facebook page. And I'll be glad to talk to you, or I'll walk to your house and or sit down and have a cup of coffee with you if that's what I need to get your vote. But I'm pleased to educate any voter that's out there the differences in the qualifications between me and my 3 opponents. And I think that when people really look into it, they will decide I'm the proper choice for the 99th District Court.
All right, Phillip Hays, thanks for stopping in today.
Thanks, Chad. I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. And he did point out, by the way, that the last time that he was here, it was right after the Moody Gardens was here. So there's some conspiracy here with the Moody Gardens and Phillip Hays.